as a multi-year project is I want to collaborate with the co-creator of The Woods again, Michael Dialynas, and I want to finally tell a story that I came up with back when I was in high school called Wynd. You know, back when I was like still sketching pictures of all of the characters I was I was coming up with. Like that was my fantasy epic I came up with when I was 15 years old, and it was time, and I wanted to do that. So I started putting those pieces together, and simultaneous to that, I started putting the pieces together for what I wanted to be my first fully creator-owned book over at Image, and finally, you know, experience the thing, like, because, you know, obviously I have a great working relationship with you guys at Boom, but the difference, you know, like at Image, it's sort of, you got to do everything yourself, and it's like it, and that was a creative problem for me that I was interested in experiencing for the first time in my career. So
yeah, to draw the distinction for those that are unaware, you know, Image doesn't have an editorial staff.
Yeah.
And so Image is a great company. So let's be 100% clear and credible. I'm friends with many of the partners, have a personal relationship with them. But you know, at Boom, we have an editorial staff, and it's a different style and different working experience, and they offer different things to different people. If you're somebody that wants to do it all yourself, you know, Ed Brubaker is a great example of, you know, wants to do the whole thing. Rick Remender, those guys are focused on doing it all. But, you know, you get creators like Kieron Gillen that, you know, did a lot of Image work, but came to Boom because there was a support structure and a framework that would enable him to do more work. So, you know, everybody's got a different approach. But
the thing that I'll throw in that mix is the thing that keeps me coming back to Boom over and over is the best editor I've ever worked with at any company is Eric Harvey, who has been my editor since the first issue of The Woods, and has edited literally everything I've done with the company except for Backstages.
Wow.
And he is, you know, like, he is my stalwart, like, you know, person. Like, there are lots of different types of editors in the business. And there are editors who want to collaborate creatively in a way that works great with some writers, but rubs me the wrong way, where it's like someone who wants to basically have ownership of the story with you. And then there are the editors who see exactly what you see in the story and help you execute that story to the best degree. And Eric is the best editor in those terms, and I love working with him, and that's what has kept me coming back to Boom over and over again.
That's great. That's amazing.
Yeah, so so cool. That, you know, just putting that out in the world. But so I had all these irons in the fire where I saw, like, okay, we've got this ticking clock now, where I've got, you know, I'm working towards the end of this contract. I have these multiple creator-owned projects that are in the works, which is the maximum number of creator-owned projects that I can, because of my contract, get in motion at this time. And so I've got Wynd going, I've got Something Is Killing the Children going, and I've got Department of Truth going. And I reach out to Martin Simmons, who at that point is working on a book called Friendo, or he may have just wrapped Friendo over at Vault, and was going back over for Shelley Bond, her line over at IDW. I think he was doing the follow-up to Punk's Not Dead. So, like, and I loved his work, and I particularly loved the work that he was doing on some of his, that he was showing on his Instagram, where he was getting really into really scritchy, inky stuff that was leaning very much into Bill Sienkiewicz feel, a Dave McKean feel. And it was just like, I reached out to him and was like, hey, would you have any interest in just leaning into that part? Like, and, you know, how can I help you? Like, is that a direction you're even interested in your artwork to go? Like, and so we started those conversations, and that all led to the Department of Truth. So I knew all of these things were coming, and they were all going to come in 2020. That was that was going to be the year that all of these pieces really started hitting. Like Something Is Killing the Children would come out early, but also in my head, that was going to be a 5 issues and done kind of little side project. And so I had this whole master plan.
And Wynd was a graphic novel
and
series.
Wynd was going to be 3 original graphic novels.
Yeah, but that would come out in 2021.
Yeah,
but you were rolling.
Would have been November this year.
That's right. That's right. I apologize. Sorry.
But so I was building towards all of that. And I was pretty convinced that I was, once I was done working on what became death metal and the supporting material to that, I had set up a couple of little side projects that would fulfill the terms of my contract, but I was going to be done writing mainstream, center universe DC Comics stuff. And I was comfortable with the decision. I was very happy with that decision. Then flash forward to May of last year, and that's when I learned that Tom is going to be stepping off of the Batman title, Tom King, with issue 85 at the end of that year, and that the Batman title was available. And